I'm being really quiet because my mom's having a nap in the other room while I film this. But hi, I'm Jinx, or Void, whatever one you'd like to call me. I'm trying to get this intro over fast because this is going to be a long-ass video. But this is a brand new channel, so if you decide that you'd like to see more of me, feel free to go down and press the subscribe button, or don't. That's your choice. And feel free to press the bell if you'd like to be notified every time I post so you don't miss anything. And my socials will also be in the description. Anyway, so today I'm going to be covering almost all of the drama that Gabbie Hanna has been in, because I feel like for a lot of people that's a name you hear a lot but you have no clue who it is. So I originally was just going to cover the recent drama she's been starting, but I decided why not cover all of it and make this harder for myself. And if you see me looking away from camera down a lot, I wrote down all of it because I'm not good at keeping track of what I'm saying, so I want to make sure I don't accidentally miss anything because I'm not the smartest. So, yeah, that's just a heads up. Let's actually start now and just get this over with because this is going to be a really long fucking video. Also, I know I said we were going to get into it, but again, sorry if I'm quiet. My mother is having a nap in the room next to me, so I have to shut the hell up. Hi, I forgot to say this in the video. I finished filming hours ago, but I just remember this, so I'm gonna throw this clip in after the intro. But a few things. I'm about to make Pop-Tarts. Few things. So, for one, for any of the clips I throw in, if you notice a small digital home button anywhere on them, ignore it please. I had to screen record some of the clips on my phone because it just wasn't working any other way, and then my home button on my phone decided not to work, so I had to put in a digital one. For two, ignore my background and my lighting throughout most of the video. I was filming on my bedroom floor. I had nowhere else to film. Anyway, yeah, enjoy the video. Bye bye. So let's start with where Gabbie Hanna started on the internet and where it all went downhill from. In 2013, Gabbie Hanna was a Vine star. She started on Vine, and I'm not going to go into her Vines because there's nothing very interesting about them besides the fact that they aren't very good or entertaining in any way. She was not funny. She tried too hard to be funny. This is just me being a bitch to her. Anyway, then in 2017 when Vine shut down, Gabbie Hanna moved over to YouTube and focused more on storytime videos than anything, which I never really watched because it was just her lying. I don't want to watch someone lie for like 20 minutes straight. But her starting this channel led to her first controversy with Rice Gum. That is a YouTuber's name I haven't heard in a good 2 to 3 years. Okay, so Gabbie approached Rice Gum and asked him for a rap battle or something. I honestly don't really know. I'll probably put a clip of it in.
I just challenged you to a live battle on Snapchat. Would you do it?
No.
Live rap battle. Why wouldn't you do it?
No, I don't want to.
And Rice Gum said no. I don't think anyone would say yes to Gabbie Hanna asking him something. But anyway, she kept being persistent on and on and on and on and on after he said no. And eventually, he got fed up with it. He took her phone, threw it, and broke the screen. Now, this is where we see Gabbie do what she always does, where she stretches the truth and she lies. I don't think a truthful word has ever come out of her mouth. And she lied about something you really shouldn't lie about, and that's assault. So, for one, before we get into that, one thing she said was that he not only broke the screen but broke her back camera, which is not true because she, after saying that, posted multiple pictures and videos taken with her back camera, so.
And the back camera's broken.
Didn't seem very broken to me. And then she said that he had hit her. He said he hit her and twisted her arm and pinned her down and stuff like that.
Of him grabbing me, holding me down, and hitting me and like twisting my arm.
But, okay, so I'm all for believe women first when it comes to assault. But there was like thousands of people there, and no one said anything about seeing him hit her, and the only person who did speak up was someone defending Rice Gum.
Did I see him hit her? Definitely not. Did he twist her arm? Definitely not. He wasn't pinning her down. He didn't hit her. He didn't twist her arm. I would say honestly that this was just, you know, it was more of like a tug of war between, you know, grabbing the phone, and he slammed the phone down and broke.
Saying that he did not hit her, and the most that really happened was like a tug of war between the phone. So my brain just stopped working. I might cut that out. Okay. So I honestly am not gonna speak on this much because, sorry, I just heard. Okay. I'm not gonna speak on this specific controversy much because there's just all of the evidence for it is just kind of, you know, icky. There's no reputable sources, so I'm not gonna speak on it much, but it's pretty clear that Gabbie is probably just maybe lying, just maybe. Now, compared to her future scandals, this one did not get as much publicity. Gabbie began to gain publicity when she made the mistake of going on to Genius to explain the lyrics of her song Monster, which turned into a meme all over the internet.
What if I'm the monster?
Because before coming out with the song, she had been making music for a while. Then she came out with Monster, as I already said, when I explained the lyrics.
In the bed that I made all alone. Obviously, nobody else is here with me in this bed.
But while she was singing one of the lines, she belted too loud, and her main mic went out because of it, so the audio was taken from the microphones behind her.
What if I'm the monster?
Which led to a contrast between like the two little like sections of the word monster. So, yeah. Now, the only reason this is really important is for two reasons. One, this is one of the first times we see her try and take criticism and fail miserably at it.
Me editing it, I probably would have used all of the audio from the camera.
And for two, since this made her gain publicity, this led to her future scandals being a lot more public and just, public. Now, of course, shortly after this meme became a thing, a scandal followed shortly after when Gabbie promoted Kenta Cosmetics, which is a makeup brush company scam. And so basically, the brushes were said to have a value of like $80 and were said to be like great quality, but they were on sale for free and you only had to pay the shipping, meaning each brush would only be about $6, maybe? 6, 7. And the brushes were shit. I'm just gonna put it as short as that. The brushes were shit. So, obviously, people weren't very happy because they were being told that the brushes were worth $80, then they got them and they were like falling apart and they were just I went to say horrible and terrible and it came out as horrible. They were horrible. And instead of apologizing to her fans who had fallen for the scam, she blamed her fans for having too high of expectations and said they need to manage their expectations.
Manage your expectations a little bit.
When she is the one who told them that they were these great brushes that were worth like $80, and she's the one who gave them these expectations. And then she also said they got what they paid for. Now I'm not going to spend much time on this either because our next scandal is much more. It involves Trisha Paytas. So I think that says enough. So I think November 2019 is when this starts. And Gabbie had been hearing that Trisha Paytas didn't like her, didn't trust her, and had been bad-mouthing her behind her back. So she decides to confront Trisha. And so, I don't know why I'm laughing, I'm sorry. And so, Trisha says that the conversation got heated and she had to ask Gabbie to stop messaging her about it. She had to block her number, and then she came out with her video, Why I Don't Trust Gabbie Hanna, where she brings up the time that Gabbie had interfered with her relationship with Jason Nash. Sorry, I literally forgot his name, so I had to look at my notes. which began in 2017. So when Trisha and Jason had gotten together, Jason and Gabbie were both part of an internet group called the Vlog Squad, which Gabbie ended up leaving because of controversy that I'm not going to address in this video because I just couldn't find much on it. So, Gabbie had heard a rumor that Trisha had genital herpes, which is not true, by the way, not true. And she decided to go to Jason and tell him this without bringing it up to Trisha first. And,
she goes, if you think it's low to tell people you heard about an incurable disease, KK, you have an issue for real. Yes, because an incurable disease that I don't have, that you don't know I have, that you have no right to tell someone I have. This is a story that happened years ago, and I'm going to tell it now because this is my only issue with Gabbie Hanna. This is the only thing I've ever said to people. I've said it to people about her when they bring her up, and I said, this is why I don't trust Gabbie Hanna.
So, Trisha says that Gabbie and Jason were never close friends, while Gabbie says otherwise. It says that they were close friends. She also says that Trisha had already had her blocked, so she could not message her about these rumors.
I wasn't close with her. I was close with him, and I heard that she had an incurable STD. He told me he slept with her. I literally said, hey, this person I've heard has this incurable STD, and if you're going to continue sleeping with her, ask her about it.
And in general, people think that Gabbie should have just minded her business, which she should have, but she didn't. So, on to the next part. I'm going to cut that out, most likely. That was terrible. Okay, so disclaimer for this part of the video. I will be mentioning sexual assault. So, if you would like to skip past this part of the video, I will put a timestamp on screen to skip to. I just realized how bad my background looks right now. I am on the floor of my room. But I will put a timestamp to skip to. So anyways, let's get into that. So after the issues that Gabbie had with Trisha, which I'm not going to go further into because that was a more personal situation for them, is the Jessi Smiles situation. So, Jessi had subtweeted Gabbie, which I'm getting a call from a spam number. Ignore my finger. I'm recording on my phone. Anyway, Jessi had so bad. I'm not gonna cut that out because I'm probably not gonna feel like it. So, back to what I was saying. Jessi subtweeted Gabbie, which I'll probably put on screen because I don't remember what it said. And when Vine was a thing, Gabbie and Jessi were actually friends until 2014 when they fell out, when an article about Curtis Lepore, however you pronounce his last name, Viner Curtis Lepore, raping Jessi came out, which was true, by the way. But Gabbie continued to support Curtis and his friends, which hurt Jessi, obviously. And so one of Jessi's fans decided, after seeing the subtweet, to call out Gabbie for continuing to support them, in which Gabbie decided to message the fan. She decided to message the fan and convince them to side with her through basically gaslighting them, blatantly lying to them, and in the process leaking very private information about Jessi. And so this fan took screenshots of the conversation and went and messaged Jessi with them, and then Jessi came out with her video, Gabbie Hanna Needs to Be Stopped. That is what it was called, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm not dumb. So, in this video, Jessi calls out Gabbie for defending and hanging out with Curtis's friends. Or she calls out Gabbie for defending herself for hanging out with Curtis and his friends by saying, well, his friends didn't rape you, which I don't know. I'll just put the clip in.
Number one, you lied. He didn't call you. You hung out with Curtis's friends. Curtis was there. This is what you told me. He pulled you to the side and he told you that. He told you, I'm so sorry I was mean to you. I can't believe what Jessi did to you, trying to get on your side. That part's true, but it happened in person. And the reason why I remember it happened in person is because you told me. I'm getting like really worked up and really fucking annoyed. I'm sorry. Gabbie told me when I communicated to her, this was after we had stopped being friends, but even though we had stopped being friends, one of the things that I believe you never do, even if you hate someone now, is hang out with their rapist and his friends. So I was hurt and I told Gabbie, this is fucked up. Like, I'm really hurt. And she defended herself when all of this happened and she said, I was hanging out with his friends. I wasn't hanging out with him. He just so happened to be there and he pulled me to the side. I didn't intend to talk to him, whatever. And I communicated with her and told her how much that hurt me. And that was the point where she told me something like I will literally never fucking forget, because I cannot believe like till this day that she would say something like this. She said, Jessi, Curtis's friends didn't rape you. What the fuck do I say?
And so I might come back to this situation later, but I mean, besides the clips I've put in and what I've said, there isn't much more to it. So I mean, there is a bit more to it, but that will come in later. So I'm going to leave that for now and move on to a much smaller little scandal thing. And that was the issues that Gabbie Hanna had with Alex James. I keep looking down to make sure that I'm getting the names right. So Alex says on a podcast that Gabbie had called him a bad person, which hurt him a lot because he had been a longtime supporter of her. He goes on to say that Gabbie had never been a good friend to him, and for a storytime video, I actually went way too far with the prank. I don't know much about what the prank was. Apparently she was saying she was a hacker or something. I really don't know. Don't mind me casually flipping over my notebook. So eventually, why do I have this in my hand? I just randomly picked up a makeup brush. I don't know why it was even next to me. So eventually, Gabbie addresses these claims in a video, which there will be more on that video toward the end of this video, most likely, unless I forget to talk about it. Hopefully I won't, because that's the reason I brought the notebook, so I don't forget anything. And I honestly think this drama was really dumb compared to all the other stuff, especially the situation that I'm going to address after this. I think that's the next thing I'm going to address. I'm like 100% sure. And compared to the Jessi Smiles situation and the Trisha Paytas situation, it's just really dumb. So I'm not going to talk about it much. Also, I lied. It's not the next thing I'm going into. I'm actually going into her poetry book next. I just remember that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be going into next. So the only other really thing about the situation is that Alex managed to get some content out of it, so good for him, but there's really not much more to it. So next up, let's talk about Gabbie's poetry book, Adolescence. I don't even know how you pronounce it. And I really feel it feels wrong calling this a poetry book. It was just really pushing it using the line poetry for this. So people started talking about this book actually toward January of 2020, even though it came out in 2017, when a lot of YouTubers started doing reviews on the book. I mean, a lot. It's not good. And so a similar thing that happened with the monster meme happened with this, where she failed miserably at handling the criticism from it. And so she came out with a video explaining her poetry, and it was more so like her making a very bad attempt at making her poetry seem deeper than it actually is.
About sleeping and dreaming, but it's really about laying in bed and wishing that you were dead, if you read between the lines. Or there might be a little one about a baby bird falling out of the nest, which is just a very simple, childish rhyme, but that was my way of expressing that death is sometimes feels like it's the only way to be free. There's a poem that I've seen shared around called Link. The title of the poem is Link, the poem is in bio. So when you read the title and the poem together, it is Link in bio.
And this just really makes me upset, the next part. She compared her poetry to Bo Burnham's.
Also very heavily inspired by Bo Burnham. That's just how I wanted my book to read, was just a bunch of silliness. I want you to laugh. I want you not to take it too seriously, but then I do want to express my heart. And I do think that's what I accomplished with Adult to Less.
No. Okay, so I'm just gonna move on from that. She then defended herself by saying people were cyberbullying her and posted a little TikTok trying to make some strong message about bullying or something. I really don't know what her attempt was, but it just got her made fun of more. And I even think after being on the internet so long, she would understand that this would just get her made fun of more. But she didn't. My background looks really bad. I'm sorry, I keep just realizing that. I'm on my floor because I just had nowhere else to film right now. So moving on from her poetry book, when Gabbie was promoting her AP, Jessi came out and said that Gabbie had actually never privately apologized to her. I just burped. I don't know if you could hear that or not. It was weird. I burped on the inside. So Gabbie was promoting her AP, and Jessi came out and said that that Gabbie had actually never privately apologized, but she did release a public statement. And this led Gabbie to make an apology video regarding issues with Jessi, Alex, Trisha, and then some past tweets. And I said apology because it really wasn't her apologizing, it was her defending herself. I know something with her, she cannot hold herself accountable for her mistakes, which is her main issue with all of this. She just can't recognize that she made a mistake. I just realized how much I'm moving my hands, ignore that. And so, I think she handled the Alex situation well. I think she handled that well. I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, she actually showed receipts of him doing a worse prank than she did. The Trisha situation was handled okay, I guess. I'm not going to go into that much because it's just a really personal conflict between them. She did not handle the Jessi situation well. That was handled terribly. She, cannot hold herself accountable for anything. Just was handled horribly. She continues to victimize herself, and I've also noticed with a lot of these issues, she cannot tell the difference between criticism and hate. But I think we should move on to the most recent, drama she's been having that, that most of you are probably here because that's the big Gabbie Hanna thing right now. And she managed to get some really, really unproblematic content creators involved in this somehow. It's 10 p.m. and I'm editing right now. I just got out of the shower, but I felt like just including a little thing that happened with Gabbie that I meant to say in the video, but I forgot to. She had a whole temper tantrum fit thing. I'm gonna put this as short as possible because the video's already really long. She had a whole temper tantrum fit thing on YouTube, thinking she was shadow banned because her song didn't get on the trending page. And this is her issues with Joey Graceffa and Daniel, what's his last name? And Daniel Prada. I can't, I'm sorry, I'm not. So, she came out with a little series addressing all of her drama. And so, one of the videos she came out with was Chapter 4, Escape the Nightmare, where she talks about how horrible her experience was on season 4 of Escape the Nightmare. I don't know if it's called Escape the Night. I think it's called Escape the Night. Or it might be Escape. I think it was Escape the Night. Correct me if I'm wrong. And she talks about how awful everyone supposedly was to her. Specifically, Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada. Again, correct me if I'm saying his last name wrong. I'm sorry, I'm really not good at speaking. And on a podcast with Trisha, Joey actually mentions that there's one specific person that made his his whole experience there terrible, but he does not name any names. He doesn't mention anyone's name.
There was one in season 4 too. for
Really?
sure. Yeah, that was season 4 was my least favorite to film by far.
Why?
Just because
Drama.
of this one person on the cast who just made it hell.
Really? And how do you stay out of like not talking about drama? You never talk about things. I would call people out left, right, and center.
No, honestly, I could have, and I could have like exposed a lot of receipts, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I don't put out.
Daniel also came out about one person who was extremely hard to work with and made it a living hell. But unlike Joey, he names names, and so Gabbie obviously was the person they were talking about, and so she comes out and decides to expose the truth, but it feels weird saying Gabbie Hanna and truth in the same sentence, but knowing her, we know that that's not going to be the truth. So Gabbie comes out and says she was practically begged to do season 4, and that she was still unsure about doing it because her experience in season 2 was bad, and that she didn't like the work environment, and that people probably have stories of her being unprofessional, and she blames her ADHD for this. Don't mind my notebook. I was turning the page. And I just want to say, she uses her ADHD to excuse a ton of bullshit that she did. As someone with ADHD, I am not an asshole because of it. And so she says that she didn't like the work environment, that people probably have stories of her being unprofessional. She blames her ADHD for this. She said she had a horrible experience on season 2, but for some reason accepts to be on season 4 anyway, under the condition that there was healthy food and 3 full healthy meals provided for her, because she was on a strict diet and workout plan. She also told Daniel that if she did not get these meals, she would become sick and evil, and provided him with a list of foods that she can eat. I almost said can't. That she can eat. So Daniel sent her a menu with healthy options and even made special grocery trips for her, which shouldn't have been his responsibility at all. She should have had, okay, if she, I'll get into that later, but I'm going to just continue talking. She was also mad that she had to wear heels, that she had to do sports outside in the cold, that her, like, the arm part on her dress was too tight, and that the jewelry supposedly gave her breakouts because she was allergic to it. She was also upset about the call time because apparently, according to her, they were working really late until like 5 in the morning and she had to be there by 2 p.m. and all she did was sit there in hair and makeup. And I don't know if Gabbie has ever worked an actual job, but their hours are much worse than that. Those are pretty good hours to be working. That's a pretty good space between when you're done working and your call time. And I mean, again, she was upset of having come there because all she has to do is sit there and look pretty. But really, like, would you rather be doing a job where you have to actually, like, be doing a lot more work than that? And have less time in between your, like, call time and when you end work? Then she goes on to say that her breaking point was when she had showed up for an interview, sat there all day in her hair and makeup. No one ever came to her interview. And then when she got... I'm sorry if you were able to hear that. When she got home, she got an email from her agent saying she can't just not show up to interviews. But she did. But she did show up for the interview. And on top of that, she didn't get her healthy meal, guys. It's crazy. This is going to be such a long video. This one clip I've been recording is over 16 minutes. Oh, no. So, she admitted to blowing up on Daniel and the people around her, and she apologized to both Joey and Daniel for how she acted on set. I just forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, but she also expected an apology back because of the situation with the food, which she did not get. She just got a message back accepting her apology. My hair looks weird. She just got a message back accepting her apology. Now, she was provided with, I'm putting in my own opinion here. She was provided with healthy food from every food group and apparently that wasn't healthy enough for her. If you cannot eat from any food group, maybe you should be getting your own food. Maybe. I don't know. This whole situation just makes her seem really entitled to me. And plus, like, this is such a... No, I'm gonna go into what I was about to say later. Moving on. So, after this video, Joey comes out. By the way, he's like never involved in drama. So, and he tweets out, LMAO, always playing the victim. And he also tweets out, I've been very silent about how truly awful she was on set, but if this is the game she wants to play, let's play. I'm sorry that I'm not looking at the camera while saying that. I'm actually looking at the tweets right now because my memory's shit and I could not remember what they said. And that you're gonna see that a lot while I'm talking about tweets. So, after Joey tweeted that, other YouTubers came out to defend him. Again, pulling up the tweets so I can read them. I'm sorry. I would not be able to remember this on my own, so I have to actually pull up the tweets and read them. So, other creators who were in the thing, whatever it's called, I'm sorry, I can't think, came out to defend him. Alex Wasabi says, not looking for drama, but I have to say, Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada were 100% the most amazing, respectful, and professional on-set duo I have ever worked with. They went above and beyond for every cast member involved in both seasons, and I was honored and grateful to be a part of. Actually, you might not even be able to see me looking off because I might just have the whole tweet cover the screen. I really don't know how I'm gonna edit this yet. So, on to the other people who defended him. Then Manny MUA comes out and says, just a friendly reminder that Daniel Prada and Joey Graceffa are both incredible, hardworking people who do their damn best to accommodate everyone the best they can. I love them so much. And then, after that, Rosanna Pansino, who is extremely unproblematic, comes out and addresses Gabbie Hanna's video, which I will probably just put, like, her whole thing that she wrote on screen and just voice it over. Because I do not feel like reading it right now. I need water. My voice, my throat is dry.
Me and Daniel were extremely patient and accommodating during filming season 3 and season 4 of Escape the Night. I personally witnessed them both try and take care of every single cast member more than any other set I've been on in the past 14 years. They both even paid out of their own pocket to make sure we had the nicest trailer with everything we requested. The crew was also very professional, organized, and hardworking. I don't like drama, but Gabbie's video paints an untruthful picture of what happened. Much of it is simply false. 1. Gabbie did not come to the 3 wardrobe fittings before filming. At 2 of my fittings, I was told Gabbie was supposed to be there that day but didn't show up. She chose not to go at all, so the wardrobe department did their best to make a costume without being able to see her. 2. The entire cast was sent a dietary restrictions form days before filming. Every single request I made on the form was taken care of by Joey and Daniel. I personally heard Gabbie tell Joey the first day of filming, I didn't fill that out, I hope that's okay. Keep in mind, meals are ordered before production begins, so everything is ready ahead of time. That is the time to make dietary requests, or bring your own food. I also personally witnessed Daniel leaving the set to go get Gabbie any food that she wanted. There was also many healthy options, including a salad bar with protein. Despite all of this, she blamed Joey multiple times for causing her to come back. 4. During the photo shoot press day, long after the show wrap shooting, Gabbie called one of the female production assistants a dumb and walked off the set without finishing her shoot. The reason? Because the crew member gave an updated shoot time that was 10 minutes different than she was originally told.
So then Gabbie comes out and responds to Rosanna's big like thing she wrote, and she comes out with a few tweets responding to them, saying, "You're allowed to have 2 experiences. I can have mine, bro. 1, I did have wardrobe fittings. I couldn't make the last one, but I was at 2 with photos. 2, my needs were sent to my agent and communicated directly to Daniel and Joey beforehand. 3, on day 3, Daniel finally got me food. 4, I've already acknowledged I was a massive bitch and acted in an embarrassing manner, so that's not news. I don't remember it like that, but wouldn't be surprised. Important to note that ADHD is not one size fits all, and there are different types of manifestations. before I move on to the rest of the tweets, yes, there are different manifestations of ADHD. No, ADHD does not make you treat people like shit. Just you can't just use it as an excuse to be an asshole. Okay, back to the tweet. She said, my ADHD isn't information is to educate, not to excuse, which is why I apologize for it. I never tried to excuse my actions. I'm only speaking because Daniel and Joey continued to speak publicly about something I've already expressed remorse for. Repeating, the only reason this is happening is because Joey and Daniel made an embarrassing private situation public. I'm the only person who's never allowed to speak about my experience despite never bringing anything to the internet first. Hello. I'm going to get water. I'm sorry. Ow. Just give me a moment. I'm so lucky I keep water up here. Then she also tweets out back to Gabbie, responding to Rosanna. Also not shocked that I'm being ganged up on by LA YouTubers who pretended to be my friend until it wasn't cool to be anymore. I obviously expected this, and frankly, it doesn't matter. What's the worst that'll happen? People talk shit about me on the internet? Oh no, please. Then Daniel came out and responded to Gabbie's video. It's unfortunate to see myself and a show I worked extremely hard to produce for 4 years painted in such a dark light in order to attempt to deliver 15 minutes of internet relevancy. At best, it's manipulative and delusional. You want the truth, but the question is, can you handle mine? Joey then drops his video, Gabbie, Hanna need to stop, and here's how he started it.
Alrighty, well, let's just get into this, shall we? So this video is a response to Gabbie Hanna's video, Escape the Nightmare. And I just want to give you guys a spoiler alert. Gabbie was actually the nightmare, so...
No, this is just my personal opinion. I believe that Gabbie was taking advantage of Joey's unproblematic reputation to go all out while talking about this drama, not expecting him to respond because he's known for really not being in any drama. And Joey says that they were actually very good friends up until this, and they stopped being friends just because of how terrible she acted on set. My life. Anyways, in interviews and podcasts about about Escape the Night, he says that when asked about it, he was just being completely honest. It was all terrible because of one person, and yet he still didn't name her. Turning my page again. Ignore me. Now, Gabbie was mad about the whole diet thing and the whole healthy meal thing, but she didn't fill out the form. I'm filming. Sorry for a random cut in the video. My mom walked in. Where was I? Wait, I need to go through my notes and see where I was. Ignore me. Okay, so Gabbie was mad about the dietary things and her healthy meals, but she did not fill out the form. She did not fill out the form for what she can and can't eat in time. She filled it out. Sorry for a ram cut again. My mom walked in again. And I lost where I was again. She was telling me next time I film a video to do it with her ring light, so I have better lighting, which is probably a good idea, because right now the only lighting I have, if I want lighting, is that. Wait, that actually looks better. Maybe I should just stick with that. I'm gonna stick with that. Does that look weird? We're sticking with it, because I don't feel like turning it off. Anyways, she did not fill out the form for what she can and can't eat on time, because they had gotten the food multiple days before, and she was filling it out the first day.
Every single person is sent a form days before we start filming to get people's medical information and their allergies and any food restrictions. Gabbie didn't fill this out until the day we were on set. Miss Gabbie, can we do a little BTS moment? How is she? Look at, she's got her yellow hair on.
We're doing
She's practicing her script.
filling out my medical information.
You're supposed to fill this out beforehand so we can get everything prepared and make sure that we have your dietary restrictions accounted.
Then, Joey also addresses the wardrobe situation and says that she actually did not say anything about not liking the outfit. She actually said she loved it and they had a custom one made for her. And she also had multiple wardrobe fittings that she did not show up to. And they offered to have a pregnant costume designer drive 2 hours to go do a fitting for her just to get stood up by her. Drove 2 hours just to get canceled on and stood up. I fucking hate Gabbie. So the day after Joey's video came out, Daniel came out with an hour-long video, and it addressed basically the same things Joey said, but with a lot more detail, and he provided receipts and proof for everything. So he actually says that drama with Gabbie started in season 2 when she had issues with every single girl on set and was extremely rude to Tana and Liza. And she also, for season 4, going to season 4 now, the first day, very first day, complaints were already piling up about her. Also, back to Joey, I think, unless it was Daniel who said this, but I'm pretty sure it was Joey. We'll see when I put in the clip, clip. He says that she actually did not show up to 2 out of her 3 wardrobe fittings, which explains why the costume probably didn't fit right. And for the food, Daniel, back to Daniel, no more Joey for now. Daniel says that actually it was not his responsibility to go out and buy special food for people who wanted special stuff. Like if someone wanted a nice coffee, they would go out and buy it themselves. But he was just trying his best to keep Gabbie happy and accommodated. And honestly, it seems to me that she just didn't want to pay for it herself and took advantage of him wanting to accommodate to her. And he actually took pictures of these big salads that he got her and says that she actually never ended up eating them. Ignore my notebook again. So, from what we can see, Daniel was nothing but accommodating to Gabbie. He offered to get her internet router for better internet, offered her healthy snacks, provide her a list of food that she might be able to eat so he would have more food to give her. But yet none of this was ever good enough for Gabbie. And then he goes on to address the issue with the interview and the email that she had received, saying that she didn't show up for it. Even though she did show up for it, every time someone came in to get her for her interview, she wasn't ready. She either wasn't done with her hair and makeup, or she didn't want to go till she ate, or whatever. So they never got her in for an interview because she was never ready to be interviewed. And when she was asked to come in the next day to make up for the lost time, she said, "Oh no, I'm not doing that either." Overall, Daniel says his main issue wasn't with her being picky or with her being rude to him. It was with how she treated the other crew members and how rude she was to them. Gabbie and Tana Mojo were both cut from the show, actually, because Tana had an award show or something like that to go to. I really don't remember what it was. I think it was an award show. Gabbie was just making everyone's lives miserable, as you can see from the last, maybe half an hour I've been talking about her. Oh my god, this is gonna be a really long video. I also have some stuff to cut out, but right now this one specific clip is 33 minutes long. And Tana, who has a reputation of not being very professional, was way more professional than Gabbie was. And I think that just might say something about her. Just maybe. Daniel says that even while finishing up filming with Gabbie, she was still being extremely difficult to work with because she didn't want to show up for the scheduled time to shoot a billboard thing. Yeah, it was a billboard thing. Because she had to work out with a trainer. And they couldn't reschedule this because they were working with a company YouTube hired. So they couldn't, move the time for her. What was I saying? Fuck, what was I saying? What was I saying? Notes, what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Oh, okay. And this is when Daniel had finally had enough of Gabbie's shit.
There are tears in my eyes because I'm absolutely over emotional. I'm exhausted. I haven't slept in days, and this is just not gonna fly for me. So this is me snapping. I understand you are busy, but at this point, I feel extremely disrespected and sense this is sabotage. You are contractually obligated to be at the shoot. Friendship set aside, I have gone above and beyond to do my best to make things easier for you during production, but I'm at my line.
Gabbie also, after all of that, sent Daniel like this 3-minute long voice message. I'm not going to include it because it was just her saying the same shit over and over again. It's 3 minutes long. I don't see a need to include that. And overall, Gabbie was just a pain to work with and was extremely disrespectful toward crew members and toward co-workers, and just wasted a lot of people's time. And I think that since Gabbie's career was at its peak at that time, or was like just doing well at the time, I think she may have thought she was better than the other people there. I really don't know what was going through her head. I don't know what goes through someone's head like that. And again, the ADHD thing, she just kept using her ADHD as an excuse. I have ADHD. I'm not an asshole. I don't know, man. Colleen was working on set, and she had just had a kid, and she wasn't complaining about anything. If a new mother can work on set and take care of her newborn without complaining, I think Hanna can work on set without complaining. Now, I'm going to read off a few more tweets, and if you can see my face while I'm reading these, I don't know if I'm just going to cover it up or not. You see me looking off, it's because I'm reading off the tweets. Philip DeFranco. God, I hate drama. Proceeds to watch 5 hours of a YouTuber burning every bitch in their life and all the reaction and response videos. Hi, just in case this needs to be said again, ADHD doesn't make you an asshole. That was from Linz DeFranco. Sorry, I forgot to say person. Raw Beauty Christie. The way my jaw dropped when I saw the beautiful trailer you provided and above and beyond the treatment of the creators. Beautifully done video, Daniel. So professional and straight to the point. I consider myself incredibly lucky to have been a part of Escape the Night Season 2 cast and to work alongside creative geniuses like Joey Graceffa and Daniel Prada. They went above and beyond to accommodate my schedule, and when I had a conflicting shoot, to ensure I could do both. Isn't it funny how not a single other person besides Gabbie had any issues on set? No one else had any issues with their schedule, with anything at all, with food, with anything. And I know I said this earlier, but I am going to make this point again. I think that Gabbie was taking advantage of these people's drama-free reputation, thinking they weren't responsive. She just went all out and said whatever she felt like saying. And that is all of Hanna's scandals summed up for you. You can probably find a lot more information on some of them if you want to go watch Daniel's video or Jessi Smiles' video or Joey's video. You can probably get a lot more. But I'm just trying to kind of sum it up because I know a lot of people out there hear her name all the time and have no clue who she is or what she did. So yeah, I hope I did a decent job at summing it up. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of me, So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more of me, feel free to go down, click the subscribe button, maybe even the notification bell if you want to be notified and not miss any videos. This is a brand new channel, so it would really be appreciated. And my socials will also most likely be in the description. And yeah, that's basically it. I plan on posting a lot of other stuff on this channel. I'm thinking about maybe doing like conspiracy theories, deep dives and stuff like that, but I really am not positive yet. I don't have a posting schedule yet. So just be patient with me while I figure all that out if you do plan on subscribing. So, I hope to see you all in whatever my next video's on. Bye! Heads up before video ends because I forgot to say this. I'm in my room now. It's been hours since I finished filming. Same thing as when I threw in a clip at the beginning of this video. But, if you do stick around, this channel isn't going to be as shitty forever. My videos are probably going to be better quality in the future, and I'll most likely have an actual intro and outro. So just a heads up, I'm not going to be this terrible at YouTube forever. Just this video is kind of rushed. So yeah, bye. For real this time.